Hey guys, it's Cindy. Today I'm going to be doing my book haul for the month of September. I'm not really sure when this video is going to go up because I still haven't put up my book haul for the month of August. I'm going to start off by saying grab a snack, grab a drink, because this is going to be probably one of the longer book hauls that I have on my channel. And if you guys know, I usually have pretty big book hauls in general, but I think I went a little crazy this month. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to try not to talk too much about the books, which I normally don't anyways, because I like to go into books not knowing that much, because I have probably around 25 books. I'm not sure, I'll have to count towards the end. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. The first book that I have is one that I actually got for free this month, and the reason I got it for free was because I was doing a summer reading program with a local bookstore. There was like a book bingo you had to complete, and I completed it, and then you got any book that was like under $20 for free. So the book that I chose is Darius the Great Is Not Okay, and this is by Adib Khorram. So I did end up getting this one for free this month, which was really nice. Okay, so then the next book is the book that I got from Barnes & Noble. I'm not sure when I bought this, but I know that it was on sale, and that is Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. I've heard great things about this. I was really holding off on trying to buy it until more reviews came out, but I've heard such great things from everyone, so I went ahead and picked this one up as well. So the next stack of books are books that I got from Amazon, and most of these were like used books. I tend to buy them from like the marketplace, from like other sellers, because they'll usually be in like really good condition, but they'll be a lot cheaper than the new books. So the first one that I got is Girls Like Me, and this is by Lola Stiville, or Sville, Saintville, I'm not sure. But this is actually told completely in prose and like conversations and stuff, so it's like a very non-traditional format, and it's going to be one that I read very quickly. So I like books that are told like this, like in short conversations and different things like that. So this is definitely going to be a book that I want to read during like a reading slump. So the next one that I got is Anything You Can Do by R.S. Gray. I've heard great things about R.S. Gray's writing, but I have not picked up a book yet, and this is supposed to be like a hate to love, and I absolutely love hate to love romances. They're like my favorite trope ever, so I decided I'd start off with this one for her. The next book that I got is one that I've heard really mixed things about. I've heard some people absolutely love it, and other people were like kind of bored by it, so I'm not sure where I'm going to fall on that spectrum. And that is Heretics Anonymous by Katie Henry. I've heard great things by Emma from Emma, is it Emma Reads? I think that's her channel. But then I've heard not so great things from other people, so I'm not sure, but hopefully I like this one. So the next one that I got is Done Dirt Cheap by Sarah Nicole Lemon. The reason I picked this up was because I heard that the main character's testimony actually puts her mother in jail, and it, you know, goes off of that storyline, and I thought that was really interesting. I think like incarceration of women isn't really something that's spoken about in, I think this is YA and YA novels, so that sounded really interesting to me, so I went ahead and picked this one up. Plus I absolutely love like the contrast in the color for the cover. So the next one I picked up, it's been spoken of a bit on YouTube, I think. It's kind of like a historical fiction, but it's a romance, so I really don't read that many historical fictions, as you guys can probably tell on my channel, but I thought this one sounded interesting, and it is one of Reese Witherspoon's book club picks, and you guys know that her book club picks are absolutely everywhere, and that is Next Year in Havana by Chanel Cleeton. I've heard great things about this. It does seem like it's a larger book, like it's probably like around 400 pages for a contemporary, but it's like one of those perfect floppy paperbacks that I absolutely love. So I think the next book is considered new adult. I'm not really sure because it is about freshmen in college, so I think that's technically new adult, but it is literally Freshman by Tom Ellen and Lucy Iveson. I haven't seen many people talk about this, but I know that it was out in the UK for a while, so I went ahead and picked it up in this is the US hardback. The last book that I got from Amazon is Little Do We Know by Tamara Ireland Stone. This came out a couple months ago. It took BookTube by storm. I haven't heard that many people talk about it in the last couple of months, but I've heard that it's a really good book. I started reading it from my local library, but then I had to go return my book, so I just went ahead and picked this one up used for, I don't know, a couple of dollars on Amazon, so yes. Okay, so the next stack is I think this is from HPB, which is Half Price Books. I go to Half Price Books near me way too often. They usually have like newer releases that they'll mark down for like a really great price. So I got some that were like that, and I got others that were like reduced and like used, not in the best condition, but still were like a couple of bucks. So the first one that I got is Birdie by Tracy Lindbergh. This one was $7.99 and it is like a brand new hardback. I can't remember who I heard talk about this book. I think it was Books and Lala talked about it quite some time ago, but it sounded like a very hard-hitting novel and I really wanted to pick it up, and I absolutely love the art style too of the cover. So the next book is one that both me and my sister like constantly stock at the library, and we pick it up, we read it, we put it back down, and we never actually like take it home with us to read. So I went ahead and just picked it up for the house, and it is Spellbook of the Lost and Found by Moira. I'm not sure how to pronounce the I with the two dots on the top. Fowley Doyle. And I've heard a couple of things. I think this would be a really good like fall, winter witchy read, so I'm hoping to get to this one soon. The next book that I picked up was one that like I went to Barnes & Noble and I saw it there and I like it caught my interest, but then I didn't want to pay like $20 for it, so I went ahead and went to Half Price Books that day and I happened to find it there for only $8.99, and that is In Some Other Life by Jessica Brody. This sounded really interesting to me because it's about like having a choice. So she takes one path, but then like it also shows what would have happened if she made a different choice. So I think that's really interesting because like we always think about like all these what ifs in life, so it's kind of cool that she gets to see like what her other alternative option would have been. And I really love the spine too, like that floral print is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so the next 5 books I actually got because they were like super affordable. The first one was The Truth Beneath the Lies by Amanda Circe, and this one was only $3, which is a really great price. The next one my sister convinced me to get because she absolutely loves this series. I don't know if it's a duology or a trilogy, but it is Girl Online on Tour. I have the first one, I haven't read it yet, so this one was only $3, so I figured I might as well pick it up because I have the other one in hardback as well, so that way they'll go together. The next one is one that I've heard a lot of people talk about, and the only reason, or not the only reason, but the main reason that they talk about it is because it is like a female Sherlock Holmes, and that is A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. This one was only $2 and it is in great condition, and yeah. The next book that I got wasn't in that best of condition, but I've been really interested in reading the book because it is about witches and I absolutely love witchy stuff, and that is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This one was only $2. As you guys can see, it's like kind of beat up, but like I really wanted to read this one and I haven't picked it up anywhere. I've been trying to find it at like library book sales and stuff, but I just haven't had any luck. Okay, and the next book is I think it's a mystery, and it is about like a little girl disappearing, and like usually when books are about like children, they really get to me, and like I have a hard time reading them because I do have like a younger brother and sister that I helped take care of for like a very long time because we're very like, we have a big age gap. Like me and my sister are 9 years apart, me and my brother are 17 years apart, so like I helped raise them essentially. So like whenever I read books about like little girls or little boys, like they really get to me. So this is The Child Finder by Renee Denfield. I'm hoping I can actually like get through this without like completely breaking down because it is about like a little girl getting lost, and that really is hard for me to read. Okay, so I got a couple more things from Half Price Books. I think I'm making really good progress, but I think this video is going to be like 20 minutes long. The next one is Finding Yvonne by Brandy Colbert. I'm not really sure how to pronounce her last name. I have not read Far From the... No, who is it? What is it that she wrote? I'm not sure what else she wrote. Now I'm having a blank here. Little and Lion, that's what she wrote. I haven't read Little and Lion yet. But I have that one as well, and I've heard really good things about this one. I haven't heard that many people talk about this in comparison to Little and Lion, so I was really interested in this, and I was gonna pay like $12 or $15, however much it was on Amazon, but I'm glad I found it for a discounted price. Okay, so the next author is one that I've heard countless amount of things about, and I still have not picked up one of his books, and that is The Inexplainable Logic of My Life. I don't know what I was saying. And that is by Benjamin Alire Sands. And I still have not read Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, nor do I own it, but I do want to get around to reading that. So this one was there for $8.99, so I went ahead and picked it up. This is a really thick contemporary. But it's written like really cool. It has like text messages and not that much wording per page. A lot of conversation. I don't know what the hell I was saying, but I really like books like that. Like I just said it previously, I like books that don't have like a shit ton of words per page, so this is probably going to be one that I actually read pretty fast. So the last thing that I got from Half Price Books was totally random, but it is the final season of Charmed. It was $7.99. Me and my sister love Charmed. Like I've watched Charmed forever. Not when it was like actually airing, because I was like really young then, but I love the show like with all my heart. It has a special place with me, so I went ahead and picked this one up because we watch it from time to time downstairs. So I think I'm rewatching the 4th and the 5th season now, so I have this one for when we're done with that one. But I think it only has like 8 seasons. So yeah, but this one is definitely my favorite season. So many good things happened during this season. Okay, so I made some dent, but we still have a shit ton of more books. So the next one is one that I got from Book of the Month. I can't remember if this was my August pick. I think it was, or maybe it was my September pick. I'm not sure. But it is Cross Her Heart by Sarah Pinborough. I still haven't even taken it out the packaging. Yes, I've heard really bad things about this since it's come out, and that kind of like bothers me because I could have gotten something different, but it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. I haven't read that many thrillers, so maybe I'll actually like it because I haven't read anything and my expectations won't be as high. I've heard good things about her other one too, but I've also heard like not so great things about her other work as well. Okay, so now I am going to jump into my book outlet order. I made not one but 2 book outlet orders in the last month. I've also made a 3rd one, but it still hasn't come, so I'm probably going to include that into my October haul. So yeah, I've ordered quite a lot of books, and the first one that I ordered is actually a repeat. I ordered this book originally from, I don't even know where I put it. I thought I had it here. Yeah. So I ordered this book from Book Depository, and it was I Stopped Somewhere by T.E. Carter. And I absolutely love the cover. I love the premise of it. So I picked it up not knowing that I was going to love the US hardcover just as much, if not more. So I picked this one up not knowing that I already owned it because I'm horrible. But I love this cover so much more. So I think I'm just going to keep both of them because I love both of the covers, but I hope I love the story even more since I now own 2 copies of it. So the first one is one that was a total cover buy. I have no idea what this is about, but I absolutely love this cover. I think it was one of the best covers that came out that year. I think this came out last year, yeah, 2017. And it is Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lana Popovic. I cannot wait to read this one. I know the second one just came out and I still haven't picked this one up. Story of my life. So then the next one is one that I picked up the first one I think I picked it up like a couple months ago, and that was Daughter of the Pirate King. So I picked up Daughter of the Siren Queen this month, and I'm really excited to read this one. I've heard a lot of people have actually recommended it to me, so I know that it's going to be one that I actually really like. So the next fantasy that I got is Even the Darkest Stars by Heather Fawcett. My cousin was pointing out that he really likes the contrast from like this to this, and I didn't even notice that, but that looks really nice together. So the next book is a book that also is getting a sequel pretty soon. I think it's coming out next year though. But I've heard really good things about this, and it is a space novel, which is something different for me. And this is Dare Mighty Things by Heather Kaczynski, I believe. So I recently read this author's newest release and I absolutely loved it. I ended up giving it 5 stars. I read it for a contemporary-a-thon and I have my sister reading it now too. Hopefully she loves it just as much as I did. But I picked up 2 of her other books because I was just like, well, this was before I read Summer of Saul. Oh, just told you guys who it was. But so I went ahead and picked up her 2 earlier works, not knowing that I was going to absolutely love her book. But the first one that I got is The Half-Life of Molly Pierce by Katrina Leno, and then I also got The Lost and Found by Katrina Leno. So I'm hoping I really like these 2 because I absolutely love her. I think I got a 3rd one from her too, somewhere in the box, but I absolutely loved Summer of Salt. So yes, I think I have her other book too. Let me see. Yeah, so I also got Everything All at Once by Katrina Leno, so I think I have everything that she's published so far, so hopefully she becomes like one of my favorite authors. So I think this is the last fantasy book that I have, and it is, I think it's like a novella. It's a little short, so I'm not sure if it's a full novel. Oh, it has pictures in it. That's really cool. But I got Sight Witch by Susan Dennard. I have not read the first 2, but I do own the first 2. They're somewhere on my fantasy shelf, so I went ahead and picked this one up. And I do really love that like the main character is a person of color as opposed to like the other 2. Okay guys, we're getting down to like the last 10. So the next one that I got is A Girl Like That, and this is by Tanaz Bhathena. I hope I said that right. I picked this one up originally from my library, but I didn't get around to it, so I went ahead and picked this one up off of Book Outlet because it was like super affordable. And then I have just a couple of contemporaries that are like, most of these I haven't heard that many things about. Actually, that's a lie. I've heard a lot of things about Broken Beautiful Hearts by Cami Garcia. This is I believe a domestic abuse novel, so it is good for like a darker contemporary. I've been reading a lot of darker contemporary, so I'm really in the mood for something fluffy, but I don't think I picked up anything fluffy. So the next thing that I got is The Queen of Bright and Shiny Things by Anne Aguirre, I think. So this one is probably going to be a fluffier contemporary, I'm hoping. Oh no, it's talking about them being broken, so that's not what I wanted. The next one is The First Time She Drowned by Carrie Kletter. This is another hard-hitting contemporary. I've heard really good things about this one, and I was actually going to pick this up from my library as well, but I didn't get around to it. I think this was like super cheap, like maybe $3, so this was a good find. Another hard-hitting contemporary, do we sense a trend here, is This Song Will Save Your Life by Layla Sales, or Layla Sales. I can't remember who just read this and said they absolutely loved it, and because of that I was like, yes, I'm so glad I picked that up. But I've heard a lot of good things about this one as well. So this is another like darker contemporary, and it is about 2 best friends that have grown up together, and they end up kind of like disputing over a boy because the boy loves them both, and like one of them is actually dating the boy, but the other one ends up kissing him, and then one of the friends actually ends up passing away. So it sounds like it's going to be very sad. As you guys can see, it has like, that's a guy and a girl, or no, the other way around, a guy and a girl and the other girl walking away. So I'm not sure if this is YA or middle grade. I think it's YA, and it sounded really good. I read this one at my local, or read the synopsis at my local bookstore, but then I was happy to see it on Book Outlet. So the next one that I got is The Square Root of Summer by Harriet Reuter Hapgood. I am probably going to save this one for next summer because I'm sure this is like a summer read, and right now I'm so about fall and winter. So the next book I got is actually about a party that happened in a dorm room, and about an event that happened there and different perspectives about what happened that night. And it is about rape and kind of like when it starts happening in a school and how truths are withheld, and it just sounds really good. And that is Wrecked by Maria Padian, and I have not seen this one anywhere, so hopefully it's really good. Then the last book I got is Don't Forget Me by Victoria Stevens. So the last book I got is Don't Forget Me by Victoria Stevens. So this is also another deeper contemporary filled with grief and love, and I'm so here for it. So those are all the books that I picked up. As I said, I picked up a lot of books this month, or like the past month, and a lot of these are very like deeper tones and more like, I like to read those kind of books for like the fall and the winter time. I really want to read like a fluffy book right now, but I don't think that's going to happen because I'm in the middle of reading The Hate U Give, which is destroying me as well. But I picked up a lot of good books and I cannot wait to add these to my bookshelves, which are overflowing right now. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have read any of these, please let me know which ones I should prioritize first, and I will talk to you guys next time.